2 years ago today is the day that I bought Fall River. I went and actually signed papers, exchanged the money, and Fall River became my company. Today I kind of want to answer one of the questions that I get all the time. And that question is, should I buy a company or is it better just to start my own? But to answer that question, I think I need to start out by talking about how I found and acquired Fall River. It all started while I was taking some college courses on business, and I started looking into the lawn care and finding out that there was money in it. After doing a lot of research on YouTube and watching guys like Geek to Freak back in the day, I decided I wanted to try it. I went about it by taking some of Keith's advice and just putting an ad on Craigslist just to see what I could find. By doing that, it led to me finding my first yard. For me, it was like gold fever. All of a sudden I realized this is real. I can make money at this. I can bring in an income. At the time I was using just a push mower, a blower, and a weed eater. They were all homeowner editions, so it was nothing fancy at all. I was actually pulling this equipment around on one of those racks that goes into your hitch receiver on the back of an SUV. So because of the gold fever, I decided that I wanted to find new equipment, better equipment, and just jump into this thing full force and just go for it the next season. Well, of course, the first place I turned to find equipment was Craigslist. I started out looking at a lot of walk behinds because they were cheap to start out with, and that's what Greg was using. So as I was searching for this equipment is whenever I came across Fall River. I looked at the listing and it talked about all it had. You know, it had the SCAG, the 36-inch that's right here behind me. I had that in there, the trailer, push mower, weed eaters. It had everything you needed to get started. So I gave the guy a call, and it was probably the next day when I met with him. We sat down, talked about everything. He let me look at all the equipment, things like that. And of course, I had the question of the customers. I feel like this is one of the biggest questions you've got to ask. Do you have contracts? And that was, of course, the very first question I asked whenever he brought up the clients. And his answer to that question was no, that he did not have any contracts on any of his clients. It may have been a little blunt or even a little rude, but right away I told him that the clients were really worthless to me. I had already gone over, you know, what some of this equipment cost brand new, so I knew the number that he was asking, you know, the equipment alone was worth that amount. The amount that I paid is not something I really want to divulge. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to answer that question if you put it in the comments. I feel like that's kind of personal. I wouldn't ask you that, so I don't expect you to ask me. Just know that the amount that I paid, the equipment, the trailer, everything I got with the company, signage, website, the whole 9 yards, I felt like was worth the amount that I paid. So now let's get back to the story. Fortunately, this guy did not punch me in the face whenever I told him his clients were worthless. He was very understanding about it and understood that there was no guarantee that those clients would stay with me. So the deal that I ended up working with him was that I would buy the company for X price and that he would give me the customer list, and then I would take it on to call these customers and try to get them to stay with me. He did offer to take on calling these customers with me and kind of doing an introduction to them, that kind of thing, but I just decided to take it on myself. I never took him up on the offer and gave them a call. I'm really not sure if that was the best decision. I probably should have gone ahead and let him do an introduction, and maybe I would have ended up with more clients than I had. So by the end of the meeting, I had asked for the financials. He handed those over. I did go over all that for the next several days before I made my final decision to purchase the company. So to get back to the original question of this video, should you purchase a company or just start your own? I really feel like that all depends on the situation. I was lucky to be in a situation where this guy understood that I couldn't pay a whole bunch of money for clients that didn't have contracts that I had no guarantee for. I think that's a dangerous situation to get into, buying clients. I'm sure there are ways to do it that protects yourself. You can make deals on percentages or things like that, but it's not something at the time that I really understood or knew anything about. The main thing I wanted with this company was the equipment. So I feel like if you can find a setup that's a good deal and it gets you everything you need, there's nothing wrong with purchasing a company. I really like the fact that I had everything I needed to get started and to get going with my business and to start growing it all in one spot. I didn't have to go piece together a whole setup. If this is something you're looking at doing, I suggest that you definitely do your research on that company that you're buying. What their name is like. Do people know about them? Have they done good work? Because you're taking on that name, and if they have done bad work already in your town, then people are already going to know that that name, you know, is tied to that bad work, and you don't want that following you around right off the get-go. So make sure, do your research, find out as much as you can about this company before you purchase it. So my advice to you is just be smart about it, guys. Take your time, do your research, find out all you can find out before you jump into a company like this. You just want to make sure that you're not paying too much for this company. It is going to be kind of a leap of faith. You really have to just jump in because it's a big investment to jump off with something like that. But like in my case, I was able to buy all the equipment to get started for way less than it would cost me to buy all that equipment new. I also felt like it was cheaper than buying it piece by piece by piece because I found a situation where this guy wanted out and he was ready to sell his company. Guys, I hope this video has helped you, even if it was just a little bit. While you're here, please subscribe to the channel, hit that little circle right there. You can also check out some of the other videos I made right over here. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I'll answer them the best I can. And guys, as always, thanks for watching.